stopped on the winch, so you can get ahead a little.
So, good morning, everybody. We are at Finanago C Caldera today. We are meant to be touching down at about 2,750 meters or so depth.
I'm starting to see some features.
And once we touch down, we're going to be moving up a ridge between Caldera B and Caldera C, basically.
Yep.
And so what we're investigating is Caldera C is one of the middle calderas.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop a target here.
Where the calderas progress from Caldera F, I think, northwards, G actually, Caldera G, and they progress northwards in a chain.
And I would just keep dropping
to
down
A.
rather than push out.
So there are
Keep
7
going
of them,
down
I
till
think.
you
And
acquire,
so
that way you're not too far
we think
stretched
that
once we get
progression also leads to differences in age. So with F being the oldest and A being the newest geologically.
push
And
a
so
little harder.
we're investigating 3 of these during this expedition. D, C, and A. D was yesterday, C is today, and A will be tomorrow. And we want to see whether there's a change in geology as a result of that difference in geological age. And because of that change in geology, if there is one, we'd like to, ooh, look at that, Deb. We'd like to see if there's there's a change in biology as well. So stay with us today. It should be a good dive. And we have just touched bottom.
Go for bridge.
Just letting you know we have vehicles on bottom.
Good copy. Vehicles are on the bottom.
I love it when you land in below the
So there's a couple different methods you can use to set
guys are
your
lightly
Z-bias.
Okay.
What I do is I put
Some
in
of
my
them are
auto
intact.
heading and let it find steady state,
Okay.
and then match that generally. And then you can adjust to auto depth. Sorry,
Yeah.
I said auto heading. I meant
Yeah,
auto depth. That was
figured.
my mistake. Misspoke. I knew what I meant, but I didn't say what I mean.
I think I need to equalize it a bit.
No,
more
you're
before
fine.
it's
No, you're
okay.
fine. You're fine. Yeah,
Okay.
just it'll dance around a little and then
pose?
find steady state.
Okay.
Probably around 20 or something. It'll settle. It's pushing hard.
So the pilots have put us in a great geological view while we are waiting to get started here.
25.
We have
See,
some
it's a little above the line
intact,
now. It's weird. It's catching
flows
up.
off to the right. They're sort of leaving
Once
the
the
stream
yellow
right
and
now.
the green are locked and they don't doesn't
Getting
really
a little bit more
waver anymore,
pressure
then you know you've got a
choppy
good
as
value.
we move into the field of view now. So,
Should I turn my heading at all?
and pardon me
Yeah,
if I
you can
mispronounce your name,
adjust
we have
otherwise.
Mary Jo Brounce on our conference call today.
The slope in view.
And she's actually been studying the rocks that are here at the Finanago calderas. So, she's not gonna get on the line.
So yeah,
But
there you go.
I'm
That's
hopeful
pretty
that
close.
she can tell us a little
21.
bit
Yeah.
through the event log
So you can just come out of auto
about what we
depth
might be
and
seeing, what she's found out
righty-tighty
about the different rocks that
221.
are here in these calderas.
And the
maybe
Z-bias
provide a
reading
little
is not
context
quite
for
the
us.
same as the thruster feedback, so make the thruster feedback say 21. It might be like 18 or something on Z-bias.
Slowly drifting up, so keep an eye on that.
Yep.
Okay, I'm at 21. And then I'm going to come down.
Roger.
All right, looking good.
Yep. And you can fiddle with that as we get in here. If you feel like it's heavy or floaty or something, we can heavy or buoyant. We can adjust.
Cool rock feature here.
Yeah.
So basically what you're looking at
So
are
I'm gonna come
areas
down,
where
and are we
magma extruded from the seafloor
We're on
and
bottom.
kind
Yeah.
of ran
We'll line up
downhill.
with the
It's of
general
moderate viscosity. It sort of
topography here. It seems to
slowly
be
wandered down, and as it
off
moved down the
to our
slope,
side a little.
the outside solidified, but the inside remained liquid. And then it generally just keeps pushing out.
So, that looks
So
like
what we were lucky to see on the
basically
dive, I
right.
believe yesterday,
See
was
how
some
that settles on sonar.
pillows
Yeah.
that had
That looks like the
basically
middle of
drained
the
out. We had
mess
seen some
of
of the
returns
interior
there.
of these
So
pillows. We've seen a bunch of fracture pillows.
happy here.
And
Okay.
what structure? I wonder what's over to
we
the
can-
left. But we can stay looking at these because they're beautiful.
Unless they want to grab something, we can start moving.
And we haven't actually introduced ourselves yet.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Sorry, watch lead pilot.
Hold on.
Yes.
Yes, pilot.
Are we going to want to collect something in this area, or should we go ahead and get a ship moving?
I think we should get the ship moving.
Okay. Copy that.
Okay, so my name is Eva Raymond, and I'm a postdoctoral researcher at the
It's like
University of Hawaii.
135.
And I am the biology lead on this first leg of the Marianas expedition.
Sonar.
And
I
I'm
don't know
Deb
how that
Woodson.
lines up with your
I'm
overall
a
plan,
hydrothermal
but
geologist.
that's the local
I
high
work
at the
at
moment.
Florida Atlantic University, Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute, and I am your geology
I'm kind of
lead
pushing
for
ahead,
this
so
leg.
135 is kind of southerly
Hello.
for your plan, maybe. That's you're looking at me. Yeah, there you go.
Read me like a book there.
Boy, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, that looks
I'm happy with that.
cool.
should we start with like a 20-meter move? And we can move up. Is that
How
So what
steep
we're going
does
to
it-
do
I
on
can
this side,
see.
as Diva said,
I can
is
see no
we're gonna
cliffs or
try to
anything
sort of
for at least
move
50
up
meters, so
a
I'm happy
ridge.
to go as far as that.
okay?
and
You can
the
do
hope
anything
is that
intermediate
by
in
doing
there.
that, not
Let's
only
keep
will we
moving. Let's
see
do
a
a tether
diversity
length.
of geology, there's
Okay.
something
So
biological
30
wandering
meter
off the
moves?
screen right
Yep.
now.
Sounds good to me.
Not
We'll
only
go.
will we see a
I'll call it
diversity
in.
of geology,
1-2.
but we will
Thank you, sir.
also have the chance, hopefully, to see
All right, video.
a
Bridge,
diversity
ROV
of
now.
biology because the suspension
Sorry, repeat,
feeders
pilot?
Go for bridge.
like to
She's
be
asking
up
how you're doing.
high
Yeah,
on
I'd like
the
to
ridge.
request a
They
ship
like to
move.
have the-
Wonderful.
30
water-
meters, buried
currents
135 at a speed of
Oh,
0.2
look at
knots.
that.
All right, Roland.
30 meters,
You wanna zoom?
bearing 135, 0.2 knots.
Good copy. Thank you, Bridge.
The geologist
Yeah,
happy.
the audio is pretty bad here.
Uh-oh.
It's pretty broken up. But I did want to ask one question. Is it correct to assume that
Partial.
these pillows are really young? They certainly look fairly young.
I'm not sure that I know the answer to that, but certainly they're not heavily sedimented, which is often how we think about how old the seafloor is. So you may be right, Chris, that they're not particularly old.
Okay, zoom out.
Let me also follow up with your concern that you guys can't hear very well.
Interesting ball down
We'll
there.
go talk to the video and audio
What'd you
people
see?
and make sure that we get
There was
that
an
under control.
interesting
Thanks
ball
for
just
letting
as
us
we
know.
pulled out. Nothing we need to look at immediately.
Okay. This is a really cool feature.
Position move initiated.
Keep an eye on my toe.
Thanks, Roland.
Hi, everybody. This is Mary Jo from Caltech.
Hey, Mary Jo.
Cal-
But I didn't hear what has happened right when we reached the bottom. I just wanted to
Maybe.
comment on the juxtaposition of the pillow flows.
Have we seen any of these yet?
and
This-
the flows
cruise.
next to the
Like
sort of
these
bridge that
kind of
looks
lava
sort of
flows?
ropey.
They do look kind of ropey,
That
don't they?
sponge.
I would not know.
And it's possible that the ropey flows have a
zoom
little
in, Roland?
bit less sediment cover,
Should have
maybe.
snapped zoom.
Maybe they represent a flow or an eruption that happened at some time later than this main
Hold there.
Ship seems to be starting to go.
pillow that we're looking at.
A very good point.
Hopefully I'm
When we
shortly
pull out
behind.
again, we'll make sure to take a look at that. Is that a sponge?
I
Okay.
mean, I think I'm actually more
Zoom out.
interested in the geology today. That was just a fantastic
Zoom out, Roland.
pillow lava.
Thank you.
That's pretty much the first time we've seen
Look at that.
these,
That is just
these really
incredible.
intact flows like this on our dives thus far on the Marianas.
That is so cool.
So, video, we're hearing that from the onshore scientists that they're hearing the ROV crew loud and clear, but they're not hearing us, the scientists.
It
There's
should be on two
one
different
flow
channels.
just going right up slope.
So if you're,
Interesting.
Roland, do you want to talk about the two different channels and how
Sure.
it comes through?
Yeah, I can do that. So
Oh man, look to the
we
right.
are
Look to the right.
Oh,
transmitting
this is
the
so
science
awesome.
party on the left
You
channel.
can basically see
and
where
the
it popped
ROV
out,
pilots on the right
solidified,
channel.
popped out again.
So if
That's
you have
awesome.
the ability to
Those are beautiful. And look,
adjust your
there are
stereo
ropey
mix
flows. See the
left and
ropey
right
flows
balance.
between the pillow lavas?
Okay,
You
Deb
can
is
adjust
excited,
left and
everybody.
right to hear more of
This
the
is
science
great.
on the left and more of the pilots on the right as you need. This is on the conference call as well as on the, I'm sorry, not on the conference call. On the streams, you'll hear both. On the conference call, you'll only hear the scientists. Currently, I am talking on the science channel only, so you should
Getting out
only
there a
hear
little
me on
ways.
the
Getting out
left
there?
channel.
Okay.
of
Have you
the
started to
streams
notice the ship
and
move
on
at all?
the conference call.
Ship's moving.
And I
Serious.
just swapped to a different
is-
phone line.
If it's
so
feeling it, it's barely feeling
Shoreside,
it.
you can let
Okay.
us know if the audio quality from
Hang
the
out
ship
here is
has
plenty
I
to
also
look at.
to point out these flows look much more intact and much perhaps maybe younger than what we looked at yesterday on yesterday's dive, where everything was sort of teleslope and fragmented.
Ship's
Here
about
we're
halfway
looking
through.
at
Have a crinoid straight ahead.
in place lava flow.
Absolutely.
Center camera.
I see it. Hold on.
Yesterday we spent quite a lot of time looking at
Snap zoom.
talus slopes.
Looks like there's some rocks there.
There are
Quite
some
big ones.
There's some biology there too.
So that's a comatulid crinoid. It looks like he's missing a leg, or it's just a weird angle.
No, it looks like
No,
it's
it's
missing
just
a leg. Oh,
Do you think? No, I think it's just curving towards us.
okay.
Yeah. So we've seen a couple of these on our last 3 or so dives.
All right, let's zoom out, roll.
Pulling
Chris
out.
Kelly at the University of Hawaii, who's the science coordinator on this
Let's see this rock.
expedition, as well as the entire capstone 3-year effort by the Okeanos explorer, thinks that may be a crinoid from the genus
What was our
Pentametrocrinus.
bearing on that last move? Just
135.
135. Okay, so right about where you're facing.
Pilot's current bailout is 270. Would you like me to adjust that to maybe 315?
Yeah, we want to go just whatever's opposite of the slope.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Copy that. Bridge, this is ROV Nav.
This is the bridge. Go ahead.
I'd like to update our bailout from 270. Let's try
one.
315.
Copy. Bailout direction is now 315 degrees.
Hey, video.
Thank you, Bridge.
Thank you.
This is
Yes,
just stunning.
it's looking a little dark and green.
Copy that. Sirius.
And would I be
ROV.
correct,
this
Deb, in
monitor
saying
is
that you see this
off.
in
The
Hawaii
colors are always
sometimes?
awry.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, on the ROV
So
camera,
especially, I
I've got
believe, on
optimal
the,
settings
where
currently.
there's active
Okay. Can we
submarine
just bump up the brightness a bit then?
Emergence?
Yeah, this is actually exactly what you would see.
Maybe
is you
we
would
need to
see
adjust
a
Ooh,
some.
can
lot
we
of-
zoom in on the whole
You have
thing?
to do it on your
bridge.
Pushing
screen
out.
over here. and then
Oh no,
Got
wait,
it.
or maybe it's a sponge, whatever that thing is on
Thank
top.
Thank you, Bridge.
Whatever the squishy thing is. That's a holothurian. And a sponge in the background.
Oh,
Pilot's
it is
ship
a
is in
holothurian.
position.
Pilots, say again. Sorry.
Ship is done with the ship move.
All right.
go ahead and zoom in,
Hypex
Roland.
got Sirius moving. I've got a little bit on my sonar moving, but
Hi, this
not
is
much.
Patty. I'm
partial.
Hawaii.
So this is a Hansen Arthur.
Sure, we really got that move.
Beautiful pillows.
Really
Is
felt
the
it.
current just pushing us?
Eventually, one of which will be
Do you
picked
feel
up.
much current where you are?
So this is a Hansen Arthuria, which is
Not really that I've noticed.
Yeah. Okay.
probably the species Hansen Arthuria
Give it another
benti.
minute. If it doesn't
It's
move
from the
much,
family
then
Similactidae.
Another one.
punch in another. Yeah.
And this is a species which,
10-4.
well, it may not be the exact species, but it looks very similar to one which was photographed off of
You're pulling on me.
off Hawaii.
Okay.
And you can also see the
Oh, can we zoom out?
hexactinellid sponge in the background, or glass sponge.
So geologists, Patty and Mary Jo, I believe, are our two geologists on the line with me right now. We have the opportunity to pick up 2 rock samples today. Are you interested in grabbing a rock sample down here and then one towards the top, or would you prefer to move up the slope a little bit before collecting a rock sample?
Give us another
Well, this is
30
Patty,
meter
and I
bump.
would recommend we collect
agree.
a rock from here before anything else.
Mary Jo, your thoughts?
I'll
Yeah,
scroll
Great,
I
it's
to the
already
agree
now.
with
pilot.
Patty. These are beautiful.
Say again?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Scoot back over.
Another
Hold on
ship
1
move,
second.
same as last
all
time.
right. You're just tugging
30
on me a lot,
meters.
so I'm getting pulled to the right
135
about 10 degrees off.
Pilot,
Zero
could we
decimal 2 knots.
potentially sample here?
Okay.
Range 30 meters,
yeah, we
bearing
could-
135,
we could probably
speed
sample
0.2.
Thank you,
Is there
Bridge.
anything in particular you're looking at?
I think we'd like to get
Actually, we're going to...
maybe as close to
I can stop
an intact pillow as
No,
possible.
Let's move...
Let it go.
It's
a
only
little
one tether length, so
Yeah, maybe
Let it
maybe
go.
go like 15 meters.
Okay.
15 meters, and then we'll stop it.
excellent.
Comes to one of those
Nav
what
bridge moving
appear to
initiated.
be more
There you go.
recent pillows
There's
that
135.
are,
That's my.
It's your current direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll wanna go
maybe
Maybe 15 meters.
Yeah, that would be good. Although we might not be able to get one, but
Not to yank on
I
you
can
too
ask.
much.
Hold on 1 second.
So, well, actually, we got to wait for the ship to catch up, or... but if you see anything in particular you want to grab, just let me know.
What we think we're interested in grabbing is you saw how we kind of, I guess it's up on the upper left-hand side right now, those pillows that look more intact and
Yeah.
they look more lightly sedimented.
Yes.
That's the area that we'd like to try to sample in.
Okay.
We know that you can't bring up a whole pillow,
Well,
but we'd like one. No.
sorry to
No,
disappoint.
overruled.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. So what I was saying was, we know you can't bring up a whole pillow, but if you could get us a sample that looks like it
Fell off of
may
one?
have come,
Okay.
from one of those more intact. They look like, as Patty was saying, those look like they're sort of superimposed upon that more rubbly flow below it. So
okay.
they might be younger.
This is what we're finding. Hey, what are we going to find tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm very excited. Like, this is,
You gotta quit pushing ahead till I catch up.
basically
Kinda.
pillow
You need to,
basalts
like,
and
back up
hydrothermal
10
vents
meters and
are
just
the
wait.
things that are going to
Okay.
make me
All this
super
pulling and
happy.
yanking and
And so
everything is
we've
just
already
gonna
started off today very well.
Back off.
Make you frustrated.
Right, thanks, co-pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, the reason to try to go for the younger pillows is because the rocks will be fresher. And therefore,
There might be something we can sample here anyway.
analyze, that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
One of these might be good.
Right. When we
Don't see anything that's
when we're
clearly
given
loose.
when we have the ability to collect lots and lots of rocks on different types of expeditions, we always try to make sure that we're picking up the freshest rocks possible. If you're going to be doing age dating, if you're going to be doing chemical compositions, you want rocks that are not altered, and going for the ones that look younger, less sedimented, looking like they've spent less time on the seafloor, you might get better results. Wow, those are fantastic. You sure we can't pick up a whole one?
You can get sometimes from these beautiful pillow textures is
Turn
the
it face you a little
preservation
more
of the
here.
glassy rind of the lava. The lava is very hot
Okay,
when it
pilot
erupts,
ship
and
has
the
moved
seawater
15
at the bottom of the
meters.
ocean is very cold.
Okay.
And it
maybe
cools the
20
magma
meters.
very rapidly
Let's
to like a
keep it here
volcanic
and we'll look
glass.
around
And
for
so
a
if the
possible
lavas are
sample.
very young,
I'll stop the ship then.
we have
Okay.
the chance to look at this volcanic glass, which might
Thanks, Nav.
represent something
Bridge,
of the
this is ROV
original
Nav.
magmatic
Go ahead.
liquid,
Can we stop the ship here?
Yep, and actually on one of our future dives, I believe one that's in about 3 or 4 days,
Should be stopping.
we are actually going to be
Thank you,
going
Rich.
to investigate a site where back in November they found fresh lava flows on top of an older flow. So we may even have that chance later in our expedition to see super
Turning a little
fresh
more.
lavas,
It's
which
good
are
part.
always beautiful, and you can really then see that glassy texture
Should
that
have some
we can't
room
see
to
right
wiggle
now
around
because
and look
it's
for
probably
stuff
covered in
here.
sediment.
There's that.
But look at these; these are so cool.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry,
Slumped
Diva.
off on
Go.
the left. See if there's any debris down
I
below.
was just going to ask, do you think there's a chance that we'll see any submarine eruptions?
I don't know.
You can say no.
I don't think
What
so.
if one of those plates
Okay.
on top is
But
like
think it would
because
pinch
I
off?
think that the target that we have
know.
where those fresh lavas are,
could land and
which
push
is further
down on
to the
it?
north of where we
Find
are
out.
right
One
now,
of them, let's find out.
I don't think
Okay.
they actually saw an
Think that
active
one up
eruption.
ahead on the
I think
left.
they saw a fresh past eruption, so one
Just
that
set my
could be
toe
dated
on it,
to
see what
within a
happens.
couple of
Yeah,
years.
just
Right,
land
okay.
right
We
on
got
the
Pretty
yeah.
tip of
rare
it
to
and
see an
if it
active
just
submarine eruption.
This is so
looks
beautiful.
like it comes
It
loose.
is, isn't it? Now you see the
I
wonder
know,
of the
look
pillow
at this
basalts.
biologist over here.
Love it.
So I'm going to set my toe down on this rock on the left and see if we can be able to tear off a chunk.
Okay, great.
Just nudge a piece off, maybe.
Can I get Mini Zeus pointed to the left toe?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Medizeus is over there. Do you want to hear or something, or is that good?
That's fine. I just wanted to have some.
Oh, actually, that's pretty tough, huh?
Yeah. I don't see anything that's like obviously loose.
So, Patty, I know you told us about this yesterday, but we might have some different people listening today.
I
Can
didn't
you
notice that
explain
tall
the
stock on the left in
striations
their minute
on
cam,
the
did you?
pillow basalts?
What?
Tall biological.
Oh yeah, that's the one we passed over earlier.
Okay.
As lava breaks its way out of the cool
You've got
crust
room to your right,
of the,
room to your left. You can
the
just
material
keep
that was
scanning in the
erupted
current view and see if you can
immediately
find something that looks
before it
loose.
cools really fast when it touches the the seawater is
Oh.
exposed to that temperature difference, forms a glassy rind, and as the magma breaks out of a pillow like
Any
the
of
one
these
that's
little
in the middle of
crevices
the
where
screen
something might
now,
have fallen into, or
there are jagged
those
edges.
those
that it
edges just look like they
passes
pop
through,
right off.
I know.
and therefore the
Probably
surface
not.
of the magma
This
that's
looks
coming
off
out
that little
of
overhang
the
there.
edge of a pillow will get
Yeah, I don't know.
scratched essentially.
Yeah.
Also, we're looking at pillows
Which overhang?
that
Oh,
have
those over there.
sort of
Yeah.
expanded
Oh,
in
there's some
place
rubble
and therefore
right there.
broken the
Wonder if any of that would.
immediately
There's some loose looking
cooled
stuff.
crust to form
Could ask see if any of that's would be
exposed
kosher if
lava,
it was
and
loose.
so that newly exposed lava may
There's
get
this
scratched in
piece.
different directions.
Is that just
from
manganese or something?
previous
Looks like there might be a
cracks.
piece
And the
between
rock
those two
that I would
pillars
go
near the
for
left.
is the upper
Hey,
right-hand
watch lead.
side of
Is there anything in the current
the
view?
field of view right now. It looks to
That
me
would
as
be,
if that may
good
have
for sample?
fallen off the pillow
Hold on one moment.
immediately below us. And if it's not too large to pick up, that would be a real good sample. It's over on the right-hand side, the middle of the screen.
Patty, are you talking about that rectangular-looking rock?
Looks pretty big.
Get the lasers on it just to make sure. It does look pretty big.
The left edge of, sorry, left when I mean right.
Yeah,
sorry.
that is.
That one?
That one.
That's enormous.
big.
There's a whole bunch of rubble.
I'll
Is
yeah,
that
there we
pick it
go.
up for you.
That might be too
I
big,
think
watch
that
lead.
one's a little too big. The ROV pilots are telling me that one's a little too big.
That would count for 3 rock
No,
samples.
too bad. I think it fell off that jagged edge of the pillow just above.
Do we see anything else that looks good
Well,
right here?
there's- Yeah, this
Oh, there's
pile
some
of rubble.
fresh angular up top. Look up top.
Jagged edge of the pillow on the upper
Lighter
left,
colored?
and I do mean
Yeah.
left.
Oh, my
Upper
toe.
left.
Oops,
Those
sorry.
fragments might
Just noticed that.
upper left.
Gotta come up above it.
The two ones that look a little bit whiter.
Below the middle left. Now it's the lower left.
Lower left.
Lower left.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
She's talking about this.
Just this pile of rubble here.
But you see how that
I'm not sure I'd be able to
surface
set
of that
down.
pillow is broken up?
It's too narrow. Oh,
I think the things that are sitting on the seafloor right below it are from that broken surface of the pillow and therefore probably would have a nice glassy crust.
So can we nudge around here and see what we might be able to grab?
yeah, well, I mean, it looks like there's this loose pile of rubble just kind
Yes.
of in center
They're
screen.
trying to get in that area.
On the left?
Yeah, I think we're more interested in the stuff on the left,
Okay.
or sort of in the center right now.
Perfect.
Let's see if I can
Yeah, in the center right now.
Yeah.
That stuff will be good.
see if I can set a toe down.
Pilot, you're pretty happy with Sirius's position?
Yeah, it's fine for now. Thanks.
And I'll actually remind people watching from shore that the main camera is exciting, but watching the Sirius view also gives you nice context of what we're looking at. So I highly recommend checking out that view as well when you have some time.
Got about 2 minutes. So given you're on this face the way you are,
Yeah.
when you go to poke, try to poke left or right or towards you rather than
There
push
you go.
away.
I'm looking at
if
Sirius
possible.
view now,
Then
and
you're
it
less
looks
likely
like
to
we're just
loosen
at the
your
toe
grip.
of this lava flow. You can see on the lower right-hand side of the Sirius camera, maybe
Maybe
some
that
more
rock there.
sedimented
Yeah,
areas
just
that are not
Poke in that hole
part
and
of
see what's
this lava
loosening.
flow.
That's what they're looking for.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you, Mary Jo.
You're spun up.
Okay. Co-pilot.
And remember, you're not off the hook. When we're done sampling, we're going to make you talk about the Finanagu calderas as a whole.
And Nav, if you could hand me the craft binder.
We're super excited to have an expert.
Absolutely.
All right, so for those of you who might just be joining in, we're actually looking at sampling right here.
Dan likes
so
to
we're,
freshen up every sample
letting our
on the
ROV
craft
pilots
A little light
manual.
reading.
figure out which one of these
Using
rocks,
elbow support.
which we all think are great, they might be able to bring aboard for us.
Oops. Do that. All right. Are clear for hydraulics?
Clear for hydraulics.
Yeah, hydraulics coming on. Okay, grip force. Grip force 5. Okay, arm coming on. That's a good view. Let's get Mini Zeus up on the right monitor. I'm gonna change your camera, Copilot.
Okay.
And video, if we could zoom in on Mini Zeus.
It's a partial on Mini Zeus.
That's a loose piece there, watch lead.
Could you try picking that up?
Sure. Oh, oh. Okay. Just out of reach.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it's too far away.
Yeah, I kind of nudged myself backwards a bit when I went to grab it.
Like a kid grabbing for that candy.
Just stretch a little bit.
This is too far away.
Might
One
need
of
to
the ones a
reposition
little
here.
higher up, immediately under the edge of the upper pillow would be.
You could see if there's something loose up higher.
Can we reach
Yeah,
anything else,
similar.
Pilot?
Yeah,
Could we get that one that's a little higher? Or is it also too far away?
I might need to reposition
Stuff
here.
to the right is what's going to be in reach. Otherwise, we'll have to reposition the vehicle.
I
So.
don't think we really like the stuff to the right.
All right, then
Okay.
he'll have to pick up and fly over.
Yep.
Copilot permission to zoom on HD2. Serious?
I think we are far more enamored of the stuff to the left.
Okay,
That's
then.
fine. We'll get you what you want.
Thank you. And as usual, for some reason, we always like
You
to
want me
pick
to
up a
pull it
rock
on
during shift
HD2
changes.
pilot?
So right now, the ROV
you're
team
okay.
is
Okay.
going to get some lunch. Don't worry, not all of them are going to get lunch at the same time.
Who's up next? Are you,
Can you remind me how far spaced the two laser points are?
Yes, the two laser points are spaced 10 centimeters apart. And one of the things that we found really, really interesting so far
Right,
is
so I
that
just gotta reposition
the
real
rocks
quick.
always appear smaller until you bring them up on deck, and the biology always appears bigger. So it's a reason why we look for these rocks that appear to be pretty small. Once we get them up on the deck, they're much, much bigger than you think they're going to be.
it's just a little tricky because it's a narrow channel.
We have faith in your abilities to pick us up a rock.
That'll be better.
From my experience, this is always the problem with trying to pick up things in a pillow field. Good stuff is always down in the cracks.
Okay. Let's try that.
Hey, video. Do I have a partial zoom on my Sirius cam?
Yes, you do. I can
Is it
pull it
possible
out.
to zoom out? Awesome, thank you. There we go. Perfect, thank you.
Okay, I'm coming on.
Watch lead nav.
Can we bring Mini Zeus over, Copilot, to That rock that the lasers are on right now.
Well, actually, I just want to confirm that we're supposed to be at 50 meters at 1830 local.
I believe that's true.
Thank you, Archley.
Coming over. How's that?
And tilt down just a bit. All right, video, do you want to zoom?
Zooming
See if
on
science is
HD1.
happy with this.
Boy, that's a winner.
Patty likes it. Mary Jo, what do you think?
Absolutely beautiful. Good choice.
All right, so
All right.
all the geologists are happy
Pilot,
with this
what
rock sample.
box would you like?
Are we going for
Let's
starboard?
go for the starboard. You want it starboard science?
Whichever you prefer. I figured starboard's open and I
Yeah.
didn't know port was.
Exactly.
Do your wing inboard.
Hold on one second. Let's make
Absolutely.
sure video's got
Mary
what
Jo,
they need.
I think we got your glass.
Happy video?
Yep, I think we're good with it.
I hope
Thank you.
so.
No,
Hooray!
pulling out on HD2.
Yep. And let's bring that starboard wing in.
You never knew there
Starboard
were
wing
this many
coming
people
in.
excited about the
There's
salt,
a lot
did
we
you?
can learn from the glass sample.
There absolutely is. And when this
The
sample
only
is done,
trouble with glass
All the way in?
samples is the picking.
Co-pilot.
yep. When we're done with this sample and we start moving again, maybe we'll have one of the two of you explain why glass is so valuable on a fresh specimen. But not quite now.
Well, actually, Nav.
Yes,
Well, actually, I want to confirm that this is D2 dive 05.
this
Or-
is dive 06.
Sorry, dive 06 spec 01 geo.
Yes, it is.
Great, thank you.
And it went into the starboard box.
Starboard box.
Fantastic. Why is my little clicky thing not working? There we go. Perfect.
All right, bringing starboard wing outboard.
So we've just collected our first of 2 rock samples for today. We think it's a pillow fragment off
Okay,
this
hydraulics coming
really
off.
fantastic set of younger,
Disabling
more
valve
intact
pack.
pillow flows. At least we are hopeful that
Ramping
that's what we picked
down.
up.
Disabling
Set that
HVO.
nav up on the
I
shelf.
think after we are finished making sure that the ROV is ready to go and the ship is moving, we might try to make a little time and move up this slope. How does that sound to our shoreside scientists?
Sounds great. From Hawaii.
Sounds great from Pasadena.
Hi, this is Bruce from the IRC. We have a question from somebody here. I know you're picking up the rock sample in part to do the analysis to get the age of the flow, but in general, with this what looks like a relatively fresh flow, would fresh mean something on the order of decades, on the order of centuries, or thousands of years, or millions of years? What sort of order of magnitude?
All right, watch leads. We're going to change pilot.
That is a
Stand by.
great question. So, Mary Jo or Patty, when we talk about fresh
Bridge,
lavas,
Nav.
are we talking about
Goes the bridge, go
decades
ahead.
old? Are we
Bridge, I
talking
just want to
about years
confirm
old?
the
Are we talking
bailout
about thousands
direction
of
you
years
have is 315.
Bail out, 315 degrees. Roger.
Thank you, Bridge.
Well, this is, go ahead, Patty.
Sorry, Mary Jo. I was just going to say, I think in this area, these features have to be younger than about 3 million
Pilots, it looks like
years,
Sirius is still
based
now.
on what we know of
but Sirius did
the
turn
spreading
port.
rate and so forth and
Yeah,
Mariana
6.5.
Backup
I heard
region.
Dan say
So certainly younger
135
than
is about
3 million.
uphill.
Yeah,
So
135 is the moves we've been doing.
Okay.
Relative amount of
Yeah, I
sediment
just talked
on these
to watch you.
compared
You can talk to
the
her
more
too, but
heavily
she just wanted to get to
sedimented
this
areas.
flat kind of,
Certainly
and then
it's
turn up
younger.
the steep part.
We can't really
Okay.
say
So
with regard to date
it's about where we're headed.
until we get a chance
So I can
to
sidle.
do an
I'll just
argon
co-pilot. I'll just sidle
age
to starboard for a bit to where we're lined up. And then we
Sounds
can,
perfect.
get erupted.
So would that be one? Do we want to head straight there or along the local high?
Yeah, I think we'll try to do local highs. It's much easier for Sean and I.
Copy that.
Unless
is
there's
that
some,
there is an
you
area
really have to
just
go
to
the
the
wrong way.
northwest
Copy
of
that.
this
Yeah.
ridge that we're
So
working on.
pilots move of 30 meters, bearing 135.
Yeah, once I get out in front, you can see he's bearing 060 now. So
Okay.
you have to kind of turn.
There are
Copy
many,
that, standing by.
many small volcanic centers
I'm gonna
that have
put my
erupted
main HD
lava
back.
that produce what is called a high
Oh yeah, how are the
backscatter
swing arms? They still all
seaboard
stowed?
surface
Yes,
that are
everything's stowed.
Okay, we'll get a feel for how rocky
that
it is and all of that.
indicates younger eruptive features.
Put them out.
So I'm
Or if we
looking
hear
at
complaints
the
from
side
video
scan
over there.
imagery of the area of
Yeah,
this
Roland here,
caldera,
standing by
and,
at your command.
where we are right now, the backscatter is pretty low. So certainly
pretty,
somewhere
interesting
between
lava here.
Yeah.
maybe a couple million years ago
So Dan
and
said not much
today
current.
is likely when this stuff was erupted. Mary Jo has been working out in this area. Maybe she has a better handle on some of the ages, perhaps, from the samples they've collected.
Yeah, I'll kind of head up and diagonal.
Yeah, that's a really good summary. We're
It's hard to
still
sidle when
working
there's
on
big pillow
collecting
lavas. Yeah.
the data for having quantitative age constraints, like you spoke about, Patty. But I would say your relative age constraints, based on the further afield tectonic history here, are just about right. We have a working hypothesis right now for the Funanagi volcanic chain based on some samples that we dredged from this area in 2011 and 2012, that as we move towards the northeast, the features might become younger, and that's based on an apparent degree of weathering in the sample that we hold in our hand. We made a general observation that
tilt your
samples
camera down to follow
from
me,
these
too?
structures towards the northeast are less altered than
Go
those
ahead.
farther towards the southwest. But that's about as much as we know right now.
Thank you
Gotcha.
both, and thank you, Bruce. Please thank the person who asked the question. We hope
Okay,
it was helpful.
we'll look forward to it.
Yes, it was.
So,
That was very good.
135,
Thank
we're
you
getting there.
for the explanation and the answer. One thing that's clear to me as a
I'm
fishery
pretty far away,
biologist
so my
is
tether
that
should be clear
pressure
of
is a very
anything.
different thing
4
to
meters up.
geologists than it does to a fisheries person.
That is very, very true.
Yeah, tether looks fine from my end.
Well, there's one thing that's similar, and that's that older rocks, particularly
I'll start to
those
turn back
with
towards the slope.
hydrothermal alteration,
Pretty close.
just as older fish often smell the worst.
Yeah. Oh, you've come a little farther.
Yeah, I'm coming back.
So yesterday we were at about
Wow, look at
3,000 meters.
Oh my,
and,
this is a
there's about a
sheet flow
5-minute
we're
delay.
looking at in
And
the
a
center
30-meter
of the
move took
screen
5
right
minutes.
now.
So
Doesn't
you
have
could kind of
quite
call
the
and
same
move every
round,
10 minutes.
toothpaste tube look to it as the lava tube to the right.
That makes sense. Like Sears would
But
stop.
sometimes
Well, there would be a
underwater
delay
we do
then,
get
but
really
So
rapid
delay from ship move
it
to
was like,
Sirius
it was like
move.
the ship moved for 5 minutes, and as soon as the ship stopped, Sirius started and moved
Okay.
for 5 minutes, and then Sirius stopped. So if you called a ship then, there'd be 5 more minutes till Sirius moved.
Sure.
So that was a very safe way, because then you never got more than 30 meters ahead.
Okay.
But it did introduce a delay, so there were some times where we had to wait. So we could go a little,
I think we're also
a few times we did it a little more
a
fast, a
real
little faster, to
layering
look clear
of
ahead. But that was kind of our
different
cadence.
volcanic loads or different volcanic
We're about
events.
the same depth now.
So is that what you want to go for today?
Well, that can just be your starting point to try to
sometimes pillar
figure
structures
out.
moving out of the right hand side of the screen
Okay,
now.
so we'll do a 30-meter move and then wait until Sirius settles before we issue another.
Yeah, let's do that a couple times, and then if we're feeling that everything's safe and we're progressing quickly, we can speed it up a little. But
Okay.
it's pretty interesting and jagged terrain. So.
Sure.
What's the average slope there? If those are 10-meter contours, how far is it between them?
Okay. So
you can just click and drag with the mouse you have. Yeah.
That sheet flow thing is coming out of the tube that you see
So
in the
the-
upper part
the-
of the image right now.
Or you can
There
just
would
do
be
it
a
perpendicular
slight
like
opening,
2 and
almost
then
like
2
a lava
contours.
tube. That material just very rapidly moved out of. This is
Just
wonderful.
start where you are and drag like one contour, and then look at the distance. 37 meters.
Ah, copy.
So it's not very steep at all. The rise is 10 over 37 on average.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to see. It's hard when you're just.
Oh, okay.
When you're just looking at high pack, it's hard to tell.
Copy.
Is that a cliff or a flat area? But yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, so 30 meter move, bearing 135, 0.2.
I'm at about 110 right now.
110.
Oh, and you think that's straight?
Okay.
Okay.
I think that looks, at least for now.
Okay. Sounds good.
So 30 meters, 110 degrees.
I think that'll.
Pilot, do you mind if I zoom
Copy
just a
that.
tiny bit to get the skids out
Bridge nav.
of the frame?
I can tilt up.
This is the bridge. Go ahead.
Perfect.
Bridge, could I request a 30 meter move?
Thank you very
So
much.
can we zoom
Bearing
in to some of these
110
biology?
degrees.
There's two things I can see.
Speed 0.2 knots.
That's 30 meters, 110
Pilot, can we zoom onto
degrees,
this biology,
0.2 knots.
Of course.
Good copy, Bridge.
Coming up.
Looking
Thank
left
you.
or right? Or both. Watch lead, are you interested in the... Or both? Watch lead, are you interested in the stalk on the right or the stalk on the left?
Let's start with the stalk on the right, please.
Okay. We just called in a ship move, so we have about 5 minutes here
Sure.
before the Cirrus starts to move uphill.
Nav bridge, move initiated.
Thank you, Bridge.
Okay, video. Free to zoom.
Do we have any more zoom than that?
Yep.
Okay, so I think
Video. We're good.
this is actually a dead stalk. What used to be a bamboo coral, and now all of these little organisms you can see growing on it are actually hydroids that have colonized the dead stalk. So that's great, Pilot. We can move on to the what I think is a
Okay.
crinoid in the distance whenever you're ready.
All right. Take the video. Yeah, Copilot and Nav, just keep an eye. Should be about, I'm guessing 5 minutes after the ship started. We should see Sirius start approaching me.
Copy that. Eyes open. Hey Nav, what samples do we have all right? Besides the rock we just collected, do we have anything before that?
That's the only sample we've taken so far, Copilot.
Copy, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, video. Clear to zoom.
Okay, so this is indeed a stalked crinoid, which is a type of echinoderm, closely related to sea stars, brittle stars, or asteroids and ophiuroids, and holothurians, or sea cucumbers.
Tilting down.
So this one has about 10 arms, I think.
It's like 10.
So it could be in the family Bathycrinidae. It's also got quite sparse shaping of the projections coming off of the arms. And so what they do is they suspension feed, so they catch particles using their arms, and then their arm can actually, each individual arm can move towards the center of that sort of flower shape, which is where their mouth is. Great, that's absolutely beautiful, Pilot. Thank you very much. Pardon, Chris?
There's once we're done with this, there's a very large unbranched icidid that's up in the upper right corner. I wonder if we'd have a chance to swing by that.
Sure, I'll ask the pilot.
That's good.
Pilot, did you copy that?
I did not.
So there's a large icidid coral in the top right, which we'd like to try and swing by.
All right.
Okay. Yes, so in the distance, quite a bit in the distance. Yeah.
I see it. It is large.
Co-pilot Nav.
Go ahead, Nav.
You feel like you're still stationary, or?
I think I'm starting to see a little move.
Okay. So that's 4 minutes, just under 5.
A good trick is for one
so
of
as
you
Chris
to
said,
drag the red bar
it looks like we're approaching quite a large
Yeah, I was judging
coral.
It was at the second line.
Oh, you're using it. Okay.
So that's what
It'd be interesting to know just how big that actually is. So pilots, when we get over there, if we could have the lasers on, that would be great.
We do have them on.
Oh.
They're on the rock in the center of the screen.
Oh yeah, I see them. Never mind. My
It's
apologies.
quite large. So first I'll get the
So okay, so that
lasers on
must
the
be...
base.
That is well over a meter tall.
Yeah, I would say. So there's the lasers on the base. Okay. Now I'll just hover here. Video, if you want to start zooming.
I'm just going to rotate slightly starboard to keep you in full view.
Okay, copy that. Sorry about that video.
So this is just beautiful.
Slowly up.
You can see each of these polyps just with all of their little pinnules. I mean, the zoom on these cameras is absolutely fantastic. You can also see the spines on each of the polyps. Sort of they look like white in between each of the pinnules. So they have spines.
Nav, bridge, move complete.
So this is the type of icidid or bamboo coral.
Pilot, so the ship has completed its move, so then we'll wait for
So you can
Sirius settle
see
out.
the actual sclerites in the transparent stalk of the polyps. Those are those little white lines in there, and their pattern and how they're arranged in the stalk is important for identifying their taxonomy. And I don't know if Les or Scott is on right now, but they could probably identify what species this is just from this view we're getting right now. Just spectacular.
This is fantastic. Okay, great, pilots. Thank you. We're happy to move on whenever you're ready.
All right. You all clear, video? Did you get... Of course. Maybe I'm a little too close. Let me back up for the full creature. You're welcome. Okay, co-pilot, I'll center back up. And,
sounds
what was our direction?
Facing 110, yeah.
Oh, okay, so I'll
direction should move.
Yeah, I saw I think a Tina-4 in my view.
I see us in the upper right, I think.
Sorry, Chris, what was that? You broke up. You said, I see ya, and then you broke up. Could you repeat that, please?
There's a fish in the upper right corner. It's coming now into the middle view.
Okay, video, let's zoom on this fish before we scare it.
Good spot. I did not even see that. Yeah, so that looks like a young rat tail or a macrourid.
Coming back up.
But hopefully Bruce will call in soon and give us a much more detailed analysis than that.
So yeah, after this fish, nav and co-pilot, I'll try to quickly work my way up and center before anything else is spotted farther starboard.
Copy that.
Copy.
And there's a shrimp too. Should we move to the shrimp? Oh, actually, I'm on the bottom.
So this fish looks a lot like one that we had identified as being in the genus Kumba.
That was exactly what I was just about to say, Chris.
Gamble and put it in as Kumba. It's a rat tail for sure. And then it's unfortunate. I think Bruce has stepped out a bit from the IRC because he really knows these things much better than I do.
I'm gonna agree, Chris. Just flipping through the OER guide, it looks exactly like the Kumba that you have in there.
Okay, let's go wide video.
Thank you, pilots.
You're welcome. Okay, heading port and center.
Did we already look at this coral? Oh, we're moving quite quickly.
Yeah, I got a bit behind.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry. Continue on.
Kept seeing things farther and farther to starboard. Let's do a quick zoom on this branching coral here.
How about that coral colony straight ahead? That's different, I think.
Co-pilot nav.
So this is a branching coral.
So from the
unlike
sonar,
the one that we
it
just
looks
saw
like
previously.
you're stationary again, and that sounds about right since the ship move ended around 6 minutes ago.
Okay.
Do you concur, or
I
do you
just
feel like you're
turned
still
a little
moving?
bit.
Okay.
So I'll need to wait a minute to know for sure.
Oh, copy.
But the timing makes sense, though.
Okay.
This
But,
is also
yeah,
an
I'll know for
icidid
sure in,
or
like, 1
bamboo
minute.
coral.
Copy.
And again, you can actually see such incredible detail with these cameras. You can see the spines on the polyps in between each of the pinnules. It's a little bit harder to see the sclerites as well on this one. We're not quite at the right angle as we were with the ones before, where you could just see them so perfectly through the translucent skin.
Yeah, Nav. I think I'm about stopped.
Copy that. So, pilots, are we? Seems like Sirius is settled out. Are we ready for another move?
Maybe after this zoom,
We are happy to move whenever you're happy to move, pilot.
Okay.
Standing by.
Video, any other shots you want? Establish. Okay, I'll come down a little, get the lasers closer.
Co-pilot, seems to me like 110 is still pretty good local high.
Thanks, video.
Do you agree?
Yeah, there's not too much on sonar, so I would say
to
stick with is fine.
Okay, yeah, you should call that at any time.
Copy that, pilot.
And again, just loads of incredible
Bridge,
geology
nav.
on this dive. You can see all this all these ropey
Bridge, go
features
ahead.
here.
Bridge, I'd like to request a 30 meter move.
Yeah, this
Bearing
terrain looks more
110
chaotic than
degrees.
we saw at the beginning of the dive, but I
Speed
think it's still mostly an in-place
0.2
lava
knots.
flow. Maybe Patty has an opinion.
30 meters, bearing 110, speed 0.2
Sort
knots.
of shelly,
Good copy, Bridge.
like,
Coming up.
structure when the lavas are less viscous and more easily break up, particularly if they're flowing over a relatively smooth surface and moving kind of fast.
Okay, so this, if we could zoom in on the spine a little bit more, I don't think it's a hyalinema glass, which is a type of glass sponge. I think this actually may be...
Yeah, it is tiny.
So I think you're right, Diva. I think this is in the
Now,
family.
bridge, move initiated.
It's
Yeah.
just,
Thank you, Bridge.
pretending to be a highly matted, but its stock is giving it away.
Yep, I'm going to have to agree with that 100%. Now that you've told me that's how you tell them apart, I feel confident doing so. That one's got quite a long stalk.
Still going. There we go.
Great, thank you, pilots.
You're welcome. Are you all clear, video? All right.
I'll add to Patty's comment earlier about, or just before we took a look at that, she made a comment about the composition of the lavas, and I think Bob mentioned this yesterday, but the few rocks that we do have from these volcanoes vary pretty widely in their composition, from the salt to more silica-rich things like andesite or even almost close to dacite compositions.
Thanks, Mary Jo. That's really good to know. I remember Bob saying that yesterday.
It's a constraint that we have from very few data, but nonetheless, we do see a range in chemistry that is.
So just as we're rounding this sort of, how do you describe this? Sort of a cliff face? Small cliff face thing? We can see what's probably another one of those branch corals we were just looking at, the beautiful isidids, as well as I think there was a Comanche crinoid just below us. And they're probably here in one of these sort of uplifted positions because they get a little bit more current in this area, and so they can suspension feed more easily, catching particles in the current that may be going by. So yes, this does look very similar to the one we were just looking at. But again, absolutely stunning.
Very pretty.
Okay,
so we're slowly moving our way upslope.
Whole,
and actually one of the first targets we're going to try to get to is there's sort of a local
sorry, I was
flat
just saying, whenever you're ready, we can
in
just
the
get the whole
bathymetry. And so as we move up the slope, we're going to try to investigate that local flat and see what it might be. We're not there yet, but it's something to look forward to.
Okay.
All right.
That's
fine. That's plenty.
Okay. The rock's a little crumbly.
This definitely looks ropey to me, as well as a bit jumbled. Oh, look, there's a nice little pillow flow on top of it. What's really nice about that pillow morphology is you can just sort of see it flowing downhill. You can sort of see how it would have moved when it was still molten magma.